What is a polynomial? Any expression px which is written in the form of a0 x to the power n plus a1 x to the power n minus 1 plus a2 x to the power n minus 2 plus a3 x to the power n minus 3 plus, and it continues up to an, is called a polynomial. Now, for example, say for example, if you can write a polynomial this way. Say 2x to the power 4 plus 3x cube minus x square plus x minus 5. So this is what is basically a polynomial. Now, in the standard expression which is written on the top, a0, a1, a2 dash 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 are called coefficients. Also, n defines the degree of the polynomial. So, say for example, the example which we took over here, 2, 3, minus 1, 1, minus 5 are all coefficients. Now over here we need to remember one thing. The last term, which was minus 5, is basically known as a constant. Even though we can say it's a coefficient, but it's known by another name which is called a constant in the given equation. So anything which is associated with x, any power of x is called a coefficient, and something which is without x is called a constant. No doubt, even with 5 we have an x. This minus 5 is basically minus 5 x to the power 0, but we know x to the power 0 is 1, and that is the reason why we only write minus 5. So the numbers with the x are called coefficients. Now the highest power of x, it is not necessary that the expression which is given to you may be in the standard form where the powers of x are reducing. So you have to look out for the highest power of x, and the highest power of x defines the degree of the polynomial. In the example which is written on the top, the highest degree which is occurring over there is 4. So degree of the polynomial is 4. Now over here we need to remember one thing. Different names are given to polynomials with different degrees. So say for example, if n is equal to 1, it is a linear polynomial. If n is equal to 2, we call it a quadratic. If n is equal to 3, we call it a cubic polynomial. If n is equal to 4, we can call it a biquadratic polynomial. And from 5 onwards, we simply call it greater than or equal to 5, we simply call it a polynomial. So remember one thing, the numbers which are with the x are called coefficients, and the highest power of x in the given expression is called a polynomial. Now say for example, once again, the example for a linear equation will be say 2x plus 3. For a quadratic equation, it will be something like x square minus x minus 6. For a cubic polynomial, it may be something like 2x cube plus x square plus x plus 3. Biquadratic, it will be x to the power 4 plus x square minus x plus 5. So it's quite possible that there may be a term which may not be present in the given expression. Like in the biquadratic example which I have written, there is no x cube, but that doesn't mean that it is not a polynomial. And for n greater than or equal to 5, we simply call it a polynomial. Now all these expressions which are written over here, if we equate them equal to some number, then we say it becomes an equation. Like if you put 2x plus 3 equal to say 0 or 5 or 15, then we say it's a linear equation. Similarly, in the case of quadratic or cubic polynomials, if it is equated to something, it becomes a equation. So quadratic equations, cubic equations, biquadratic equations, all these are different equations. Unless it is put equal to something, till the time it remains an expression, and we simply call it a polynomial.